shark frenzy. This was a large attempt to diminish me in the eyes of the public so that my messages would be dismissed. More than that, on a personal level, he took a private and innocent moment from decades before and made it public and ugly. It was humiliating and made my life hell. That betrayal cut deep, yet there was nothing I could do about it except defend myself and my reputation. This book is in part autobiographical, but I will not be betrayed and tell by naming names. However, I intend to be reasonably open about my experiences and the pain they caused. While the motivation for this book was my own accumulated and finally exploded pain and fury, the ultimate goal of these writings is to commiserate with you all, as there is no one out there who hasn't experienced betrayals that have resulted in humiliation, pain, and loss of reputation, employment, family, or friends, as well as physical illness resulting from the stress. Betrayal seems to be a universal and eternal reality of the nature of human beings. We barely get into Genesis when one brother, in a fit of sibling rivalry over a perception of God's favor, kills the other brother. Biblical human history starts with Eve betraying God and suckering Adam into a bite of forbidden fruit. Adam then betrays Eve by throwing her under the bus, making her take responsibility for his action in munching what he shouldn't. Whether or not you look at biblical writings as history or metaphor, we're left with the same conclusion. Betrayal seems an inevitable, vicious, devastating, horrific part of the human condition. I was sitting one summer day with my dear friend Sheridan Rosenberg while she was relating to me a gut-wrenching situation of betrayal by a girlfriend she was attempting to survive. She said, quote, "There's a reason Dante made betrayal the deepest level of hell." I had completely forgotten that, and I quickly went to my library. The ninth and deepest circle of hell is where sins of betrayal are punished in a sea of ice fanned frigid by the 6 wings of the huge, 3-faced, fanged, and weeping Lucifer. In Dante's underworld, sinners face a descending vortex of horrendous consequences for all eternity, depending on their sins. The lustful are perpetually blown about in a whirlwind, the violent boil in a torrent of blood, but betrayers alone are at the bottom, forever tormented by the angel who betrayed God, Lucifer. At first, assuming there is such a post-life format, I was thrilled to imagine that the people who betrayed my trust, friendship, affection, and loyalty would have to wear thick mittens forever. Then I wondered why betrayers would be the most tortured, even more than murderers. I concluded that betrayals are frightening, destructive, painful, humiliating, demoralizing, and so very, very hard to repair. Betrayals undermine people, relationships like marriage and families, institutions like churches, schools, businesses, government, politics, everything. The entire fabric of humanity depends upon people depending upon each other for their word, their honesty, and loyalty. Perhaps when a person is betrayed, it is worse than death. In death, they no longer suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous antagonisms. While betrayed, they live to suffer the torturous consequences of the betraying. Think about most scary movies in which evil is shown resurging unbeknownst to the protagonists who have struggled to conquer and destroy it. Evil has a lot of power and resilience. Yep, evil has immense power, and betrayals are evil, because evil has no rules of engagement. Evil has no morals, no values to monitor or measure its actions. Evil enjoys recognizing the pain it has caused. Evil feeds off confrontation, and evil persists ultimately because most people won't stand up to it. Worried about being the next in the crosshairs, they deny the existence, the potency, or significance of a betrayal because it hasn't touched them yet. So it is the fear, weakness, selfishness, and cowardice of onlookers that permits evil behavior to persist. Both justice and vengeance are difficult to attain. We can't count on what goes around comes around or any such palliatives. Open any book on religion, psychology, and philosophy, and you will read sublimely mushy stuff about making friends out of enemies. I can't for the life of me conjure up the desire to become intimate with and trust people capable of cold-blooded, calculated, destructive, hateful meanness. That just makes no sense to me, unless it's to beguile them into submission by imagining a friendship.